It's Sunday, November 15th, 2020, coming to you from the beautiful desert here in Southern California. 85 degrees out as I make this video. It's been a warm afternoon, been up at the range training clients all day. And as I finish up here, I want to just check in with everybody, shoot a quick video, kind of recap on what has transpired the past week and what is ahead this coming week and what's ahead for America in the next coming months. Before I start this video today, though, please make sure to like this video. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. And most of all, make sure that you subscribe to this channel. The best way to support this channel and this message is to become a member of this channel. Also, I will be uploading a brand new video on Patreon this evening, so please come over to Patreon and check that video out. We're going to be talking about more about what's happening socially and politically and why you better be preparing. But right now, I want to kind of recap on Jerome Powell, the Fed chair, and what he just said a few days ago. He said that we're not going back to the same economy. And that, to me, is eerie. That's a very ominous message that Jerome Powell said. You know, despite stimulus package after stimulus package and despite the unprecedented intervention by the Federal Reserve, we continue to be mirrored in the worst economic downturn since the Great Depression. We have tens of millions of people unemployed. We have thousands upon thousands of small, medium businesses completely shut down, never going to recover. We have tens of thousands of businesses months and months behind in rent and leases, and just piling up massive amounts of debt. Jerome Powell said that we're not going back to the same economy. What did he mean by that? He said that we're recovering, but it's a different economy. We're not going back to anything normal, I can guarantee all of you. He says that I worry that it's going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers. A different economy. Boy, that is a very ominous message that Jerome Powell is sending out. He knows what is coming. He has been lying to us for years. He knows exactly what's coming. Look, the Fed is getting themselves backed into a corner here. They're going to have less and less tools to get us out of this. They are creating the worst economic collapse in world history. They are creating it. We cannot continue to have 0% interest rates. We cannot continue printing money out of thin air. We cannot continue just giving people stimulus. We must start creating opportunity. Stop giving out checks and start creating jobs, creating opportunity, creating manufacturing. That's the only way we're going to get out of this. And we're going to get into a hole here so deep that we're never going to get out of it. But he knows what's coming on. And he's breaking the bad news to America as gently as he can. But really listen to what he is saying. And this Thursday, we got the job numbers for last week. This last Thursday, they came in at 709,000. And nobody ever talks about that. We've lost literally 1.5 million jobs in 2 weeks. We're going to lose a lot more jobs in the coming weeks, in the coming months. And this economy is getting frightfully worse. As of October 24th, a total of 21.16 million Americans were bringing home some type of unemployment assistance. Now remember how many people have rolled off, how many people are ineligible to even get it. So the true unemployment numbers are way over 30 million. A year ago, that number was 1.45 million, less than 1.5 million people. Right now, 21.16 are getting unemployment assistance. Last year, it was under 1.5 million. And now the economy, ladies and gentlemen, is closing down yet again. Imagine what we are about to see. It's going to be very, very ugly times coming to America. Another reason why I'm here today, doing some training and just checking gear and making sure that everything is ready to go, because security is your number one asset next to God. So as all of us continue to watch what's happening in this economy, as we continue to watch the debts and deficits explode to historic numbers, it reinforces with me, and I'm sure this reinforces with you, bet against the debt. There's never been a time more important now to bet against the debt. Another crisis is imminent, ladies and gentlemen. The Fed is going to have to print a lot of money and create a lot of debt. The Fed has expanded its balance sheet by $3 trillion this year alone. They're injecting $120 trillion in liquidity every month. But people are telling you everything's okay. This is normal. The markets aren't manipulated. The markets are real. There's no illusion. Everything's okay. Don't worry about the repo markets. Don't worry about the $120 trillion in liquidity every month. Don't worry about the 0% interest rates. Don't worry about the $3 trillion. Don't worry about all the businesses you see in your areas closing down. Don't worry about the 30, 40, or 50 million unemployed people. The Fed is buying corporate bonds and junk bond ETFs. This is all the last line of defense for any equity drawdown. You should be very, very concerned, ladies and gentlemen, and you should be betting against the debt. This is not going to get better anytime soon. It is going to get much worse. The Fed needs to more than double its monthly QE in 2021 just to catch up to where it was in 2020. So what will be the next excuse, the next scapegoat for the next massive QE, for the next massive amount of helicopter money, the next gigantic bailout? What's it going to be? Maybe it will just be all the small and medium businesses that have been shut down. The Fed's just going to say, hey, everything's been shut down because of the infection. We're at critical mass here. All these businesses are shut down. So we're going to have to crank up the printing presses and throw more money into the system. But at some point, it's not going to work. When all of our small, medium businesses have been annihilated, or half of them, a large percentage, when you have tens of millions of people out of work, when you're not manufacturing, when you're just a country of consumers and you're not producing anything other than debt, it doesn't matter how much money they print. All they're going to do by printing this money is devalue the currency. They're going to vaporize the US dollar by doing this at a faster pace than if they did nothing. So they're going to have a huge excuse here to print a lot of money, cause a huge amount of hyperinflation, and really put this economy in a critical turmoil. And if you're not betting against this debt, if you're not preparing for this, if you believe everything is going to be okay and that this is normal, I feel very sorry for you. And I feel even more sorry if you have kids, because they're going to be in very, very big trouble here. We are all going to pay a price here ultimately, and this country is going to pay the ultimate price. We are not going to be a superpower if we continue doing this. Really good article today I was reading on the hedge. American retirees are drowning in debt. This is unbelievable. Between 1999 and 2019, the total debt burden for Americans over the age of 70 increased 543% and totaled $1.1 trillion. For people in their 60s, debt grew 471% over the same period, totaling $2.14 trillion. Surprisingly, many seniors are burdened with student loan debt. Many older people went back to college to get degrees, advanced degrees, and many of them took out more debt to put their children through school, and they are just overloaded and burdened with tuition debt, college tuition debt. So it's unbelievable. And when you look at how many of these people are financing automobiles, have credit cards, the elderly are getting themselves into very, very serious trouble here. 80% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. That was last year. If you're getting a paycheck this year, you are so blessed. 30% of Americans have less than $5,000 in retirement savings. 21% have zero retirement savings. 33% have less than $25,000 in retirement saved up. And 50% of Americans don't even have $400 in cash. Yet there are people telling you and I that everything is great, V-shaped recovery, everything's bouncing back. 2021 is going to be an incredible year. 2021 is going to be a chaotic economic year here in America. If you think the economy was bad in 2020, you ain't seen nothing yet. Commercial loan demands plunged to new post-Lehman low, even as lending standards ease. This is a bellwether to what is happening to your economy, ladies and gentlemen. Why would anybody be borrowing money for a commercial loan now when all we see is vacant buildings everywhere. The commercial industry is in a depression, and it is going to be annihilated here in the next coming year, and it is going to head on right over into the housing market. We're going to see a transition from this commercial real estate depression. It's going to head right over into a housing depression. 70% of Americans unlikely to travel for holidays as U.S. faces second wave. What do you think that this is going to do to the economy? What is this going to do to the holiday shopping season? What is this going to do to restaurants, hotels, amusement parks, Lyft, Uber, local economies? What is this? I can tell you what it's doing in my area. As the resorts, many of them are empty, as the Lyft and Uber drivers are doing nothing, as the golf courses are empty, as the restaurants are at limited capacity. When 70% of people are unlikely to travel for the holidays, this is going to have huge economic implications on areas like this, especially areas like Las Vegas and touristy areas. This is going to have huge effects, and it has a huge effect on the entire economy in these areas. These economies support so many people that have rent payments, have mortgages, have car payments, etc. People who have businesses. And with people too scared to travel and people too broke to travel, huge implications are coming, ladies and gentlemen. And they are going to go right into 2021. You know, anybody that believes that this is going to be fixed in 2021 believes in the Easter Bunny. Bay Area Food Bank now serves 500,000 working poor as demand doubles. This is America now. People going hungry, people jobless, people losing everything, losing their businesses, eating up their retirement savings. People are, listen guys, this is no joke. I really pray that every one of you is heeding this warning and preparing. San Francisco Bay Area has lost 350,000 jobs this year, leaving many households with food and housing insecurity. And this isn't just going to be happening in San Francisco, it's happening all over. Right here in my area, I've seen the lines of cars, people trying to get food for their families, 2-mile car lines right over in Riverside, 45 minutes away. This is happening everywhere, and maybe you haven't seen it, but it's happening in your area. Food banks can't keep up with the demand for food serving. 500,000 people now need help in San Francisco. This is a testament to this economic crisis that we are all experiencing. You know, the V-shaped recovery, everything's going to be okay. Don't worry about it. The Dow Jones is at all-time highs. Don't worry about it. Stock market's doing great. Wall Street's doing great. Don't worry about millions of people going without food. Don't worry about the millions of people who are homeless, living on the streets, living in their cars. Don't worry about it as long as the stock market continues to go up as it is being completely propped up by the Federal Reserve. People at this point are living on the edge. And anybody watching this video today who has the means to put some cash away, to put some gold away, some silver, to have security, we're out here at the range working on that because security is your number one asset next to God. If you have the means to do these things, you need to be doing them yesterday. Hopefully you weren't watching a football game today or some golf. Hopefully you were at the gym getting in a little bit better shape, out here at the range, working on your skill set, checking your gear, just doing something to prepare for what's coming. Remember, we don't even know who the President of the United States is yet, and when we find out, what are going to be the repercussions when that happens? Time to go all in. The Big Short 3.0, 80% of all New York hotels on the verge of default. That is on the hedge today. Look, guys, I'm reporting to you what is really happening in the real economy. San Francisco, New York, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Chicago, hotels in very, very big trouble. We look at commercial real estate, massive trouble. We're looking at the average American now drowning in debt, big trouble, and yet there's people out there oblivious to the threats. The economic meltdown has begun, ladies and gentlemen. There's no denying it. No matter what the stock market does, Dow Jones could go to 50,000 points in 2021. It doesn't mean anything. If you don't have a job, if you can't pay your bills, if you're losing your house, if you're getting kicked out of your apartment, if you don't have opportunity and you have no money, it doesn't matter what's happening on Wall Street. The very few at the top are laughing all the way to the bank, while 99% are paying the ultimate price here. They are going to feel the economic meltdown hit home here very, very soon. The standard of living for the typical average American is about to decline very, very quickly. And if you're watching this video, I hope that you're preserving and protecting your wealth. I really pray for all of you that you have a skill set, that you're your own asset, that you're walking close to God, that you have security, that you have food and water, that you have assets, that you have some skill set to get you through what is coming. It doesn't matter what kind of watch you wear, what kind of car you drive, how many credit cards you have. None of that's going to matter. What's going to matter is, can you survive the worst economic collapse? Do you have the assets? Do you have the ability? Do you have the mindset? Do you have the knowledge to get through this? And many people continue to ignore all of this, and that's fine. Those people are going to pay the ultimate price. The people who are awake and prepared are going to prosper. They're going to survive. Their children will survive. They're going to protect their wealth. For the people who ignore the warning, who have done absolutely nothing, I feel very, very sorry for you, because this is going to be a living nightmare for millions and millions of people. And again, the 1% are laughing all the way to the bank. They're going to be fine on their islands, their ranches, their security, their gold, their silver, their food, all their preparations. They're not dumb. They've been preparing for it years and years and years, and they all have emergency plans. They all have emergency security teams. They have a network for what is coming to prepare. The average person has zero money, zero savings, zero assets, zero network, zero skills. Most people today are watching a football game, watching cartoons, playing video games, maybe eating a Twinkie, just getting slower, lazier, and more obese. And those people are going to be the victims here. You are not. You're the people who are getting in better shape mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially, who are awake, who are continuing to absorb knowledge, continuing to work on your preparations, not being complacent. You know exactly what's coming. Many of you are way more intelligent than me, way more prepared than me, but I'm doing the best that I can. Could I do better? Yeah, I think I could. But right now I'm doing the best that I can. I'm going to try to do better. But one thing I can say is I'm awake and I know what's coming, and I'm not going to be taken by surprise like the masses, and neither will you. And I believe that many of you are going to prosper, become very wealthy during these rough times. You know, these people that say it's doom and gloom and, this is scary. This isn't doom and gloom. This isn't to scare you. This is to prepare you, to take advantage. We're going to see massive sales in the United States of America, housing, commercial real estate, automobiles, boats, RVs, land, farms. There's going to be mass sales coming to America. America is going to be for sale. You can be on one side or you can be on the other side. If you're on the right side of this and you have purchasing power, you have very minimal debt, and you have assets and you have cash put away, you're going to prosper. Many of you will become very, very wealthy. And I don't know how long the cash is going to be good for. When I watch what's going on and I see the inflation that keeps continuing to tick up, and reading what I'm reading, how quickly the US dollar could be vaporized is very, very scary. So I do believe that holding assets like gold and silver are going to be probably your best insurance policy for what's coming. I'm going to leave it there today. Have a wonderful week. Continue to stay on course. Prepare. Walk close to God. Continue to work on your skill set, be your own asset, be good at something. And that's going to be a tool to help you get through what's coming. What is coming is unavoidable. Everything that this country is doing with debts and deficits and money printing and all this nonsense that is taking place is 100% unsustainable. Common sense tells you that. Connect the dots. Nobody has a crystal ball here. You don't need one. Connect the dots. We are at a race to the bottom here with our currency. We can't print it fast enough. We're going to double down in 2021, guaranteeing all of you that your purchasing power is going to be hammered. So make sure that you are protecting yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Protect yourself. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to your family. Don't be a victim with this economic tsunami that is coming. It is unavoidable. It is going to wreck a lot of people's lives. Don't be one of those people. God bless.